Hey, it's Shaves. Welcome to another edition of Brawl, where I blindly review anime on a wheel. Lol. And I changed the time to 3 minutes. We'll see how that goes. And I would do it on my webcam, but like it just has like this blue filter on it, and I don't like. I have to figure out how to color correct. So we're just doing my phone still. It still looks good. And first for the wheel I thought was not good. We don't like this wheel. No one likes this wheel. It's a lighter. Lol. Spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel.
Under the Dog. I don't remember this one. Sheesh. Start the timer. Oh, geez. Okay, so this was like a Kickstarter project, and I guess one of the earlier ones, but didn't Punch Out, not Punch Out, didn't Kick Heart come out before this one? And I guess this was a longer project and stuff. I have no recollection of what this was based on or whatever. I think I just remember it being this big action scene. And, like, it was fine, but I remember not liking it. I just remember this being, like, really underwhelmed. And maybe I was buying more into the anti-hype at the time when this came out. Like, a lot of people were like, boo on this one. And maybe that was the case. I just don't remember. It's just very forgettable. Honestly, I can't remember very much. I don't remember how much of it was CG or not, or what the issue was. I barely remember anything. I don't know why I put this on this wheel, because I can't remember anything. I'm sorry if it's going to be 2 minutes of that. I mean, I don't want to spend this time like looking it up and like this is blindly, right? But yeah, I think this was at the time where like a lot of people were like putting some stock in like, oh, maybe this is a new model, like instead of OVAs and stuff, they could do this. And I think since then we haven't seen as many projects like this. I think it was sort of a very high profile failure of sorts. Oh well, I mean, maybe there's stuff that's happened since then. You can say, oh, it's like, oh, Trigger did the Little Witch Academia thing, and then that's great. But then, like, I think it was actually a little more special when it was just that, and then it became a TV thing. There it is, the full-fledged thing, and then, like, that's it, And I guess it's like, their thing of, but at the same time, they're doing original stuff. Their stuff is almost nothing but original. So I don't know what the deal with that was. But yeah, no, this Under the Dog, I can't remember anything. I remember like the poster, but I just don't remember liking it all that much. And I think it was part of the anti-hype. I don't know how many people would end up watching it now. It just seems kind of got buried with the avalanche of shows that came out in the past few years, the past decade. Wasn't as big of a hit. I don't even know what year it came out. Sheesh. I'm finally I'm succumbing to pressure. Under the Dog, summer 2016. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh, the Tokyo Olympic Games were called off after the that's funny. They kind of predicted that they did just. It was Cannabis Citrus and Orange. Really? Huh. That's interesting. That's a really interesting progenitor, because they ended up really nailing it later. That's interesting. Anyway, I didn't like it. Yeah, sorry, there wasn't very much on that one. Okay. All right, now for the wheel I thought was decent. A pretty good wheel. America. Heck yeah. Spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel.
Takarajima, let's go! All right. Takarajima is a Dazaki series based on Treasure. It's Japanese for Treasure Island, if you didn't know. It is pretty much I haven't read the book, but like it seems a pretty accurate adaptation, pretty straight-laced of the original novel. That's very fan. There's an Animal Treasure Island, and I think I something with the encyclopedia where they lumped it together with the other Treasure Islands, and it's like, okay, fine. But this one is a Dazaki, and Kobayashi's the art director on that one too. But Sugino, I don't know. I think Sugino's involved with it, but it's interesting. Like they don't look as very Sugino-ish. I really like it's kind of has this nice balance of Gamba, kind of like very simplistic designs with Sugino's more trademark stuff. being very realistic and such. It's a good show. And it's the sort of thing where it's like, if you've seen Treasure Planet or whatever, and admiring the dynamic with oh god, what is the main character's name? But John Silver, and then uh the main kid, I don't even remember. This one is interesting because it has as a leopard. It's a leopard animal sidekick. Doesn't it's just there. It doesn't add or anything substantial. Although I do like that it has sort of it has that sidekicky and Treasure Planet had a similar thing with Morph, I think. But like those dynamics are cool. I know people like could be cynical about those sorts of additions, but I personally really like it. The drama was really cool. I really like the a lot of it isn't so much about the treasure so much as like there's this really cool multi-episode sequence of them getting a base set up. Actually, they don't get on the boat for a while. I think the first 5 or 6 episodes, which I really like. It was delightful in that way. I wasn't as like, all right, where's John Silver? And they kind of give it to you. They build it up for a while. In fact, like the opening, the kind of the premise of the guy dying, I think that happens for 2 or 3 episodes, maybe. I might be exaggerating. But there's definitely more than one episode where they really milk the Billy Bones thing. And it's a Dazaki. What do you say? With he has great direction, and I think they have a great story here. It's a good show. A lot of people like it a lot more than I do. I think I don't know. I can't say like particular things that I would like. It just didn't like enthrall me. Oh, I love this sort of thing. It was just like, this was nice. This is cool. And it was also, I watched this during a quad with Wolf's Rain, Argento Soma, and Gankatsuo, which is a weird combo, I know. But yeah, that I watched all those shows together, and this one was good. I like this one. You should check it out. All right. Okay. And now what I thought was the best wheel. The wheel. Spin the wheel. Spin the wheel. Rose of Versailles. 2 Dazakis in a row. Let's go. Start the clock. What can you say? Yeah, this was actually my first. I think this is my first Dazaki. Actually, I think I can when I think about it. Yeah, I didn't even know. I don't think I even knew who he was necessarily. I still loved it. You hear about this one as like very like one of the best 70s. I think Snob was saying like this is one of the only good 70s anime kind of deal, or something like that. Or was easily one of the best ones. And I feel that it's also very on the cusp of 70s because it bleeds like it's the latter end of 79 and the first half of 80 is when this came out. And it's not all Dazaki. It is Tadao Nagahama in kind of his it's not his last anime technically. I think Daltanius came out a little while after that one, and it's the weird kind of 4th mecha show that he did. He has like that romance trilogy with Daimos and all that, but then there's Daltanius at the end there that he worked on a little bit, but he did pass away in the middle of the production, which is really sad. Really went prolific and like really important director that like cut way too short. But yeah, no, I like the whole show, and I do think that it doesn't even like get better when Dazaki, although there is a very distinct, you can tell there's a shift, like, oh shit. The episode in particular is very memorable in that way. There's like a very big tone shift. And I like the whole show really. I haven't read the manga yet, but I know it is slightly different. But I am looking forward to checking. I don't know if I'll ever check it out, honestly. I think I remember checking out the end because I heard it was slightly different. It is another thing with Dazaki kind of like twisting, like kind of tinkering with the plot and the continuity a little bit. I don't know if it's the first time he did that. I imagine he does that. It was kind of a necessity with like Remy or something to make that book into 50 episodes, right? Things like that. And it's good in that way. I don't know how much he's credited for writing versus like how much he's involved in that way. But it was an amicable relationship between the two of them, the author and Dazaki, enough for him to make adapt another one of her works, Dear Brother, which I think is just, he's more on his game. He's way more stylized in that one, and that's why I think I ultimately like that one more than Rose of Versailles. That, and it's just way more insane. But ROV I really do respect and appreciate, and I'm happy I watched it. It was also a good first one, I think, because it's also like it's definitely one of those anime where, yeah, it's very clearly older and 70s and stuff like that, but it does seem like that kind of show where a lot of people come around to liking 70s, and it opens the door for more series, I think, if people check this one out. So yeah, I mean, if you haven't seen it already, by all means, we did do a group watch recently. Okay, we're back on the best wheel, and now I have to say negative things and harshly critique whatever the best comes up here. Oh boy, these are always the spin the wheel. Spin the wheel. No! These are the worst. I hate these. Okay, 3 minutes to go. All right. Fucking no. No! It's one of the babies. Okay. It is just a movie. I get it. It is. Even the episodes, like if you watch the four episode thing, which like, I mean, I think at this point, I think the movie is ultimately the more efficient way of doing it, and you don't have it break into credits. And yeah, so like each one is less than a full length episode, so it is very tight and short. So I can understand a lot of the characters being just one note or not as much fleshing out dimension or memorable in that way. Maybe the soundtrack's a little on the nose. Maybe I'm just trying to play devil's advocate, I guess. Oh god. Yeah, I get some people don't like this one. I can't imagine why. This is not easy. Man, I don't know. It's there are more. I think it ends up really cool looking, but I get how it's very modern and like the modern anime type of thing. The colors are very plain and saturated, maybe for modern anime and things like that. And yeah, I mean I don't remember. I think that the mechs are decent, but the battles, but I can imagine them not being as. I don't know, man. This is tough. This is actually one of my real, like, genuine, like, up there favorites, man. But I did this easier with LGH. I think LGH was easier to criticize, I guess. I don't know. I guess it's because of how short it is. Maybe it's not a full adaptation. I'm sure you can clown about Thunderbolt 2. Thunderbolt 2 I've only seen once. I didn't really connect with it. I do want to see it again, but that one I think it lends itself to it's like, okay, when's the next one? And then it hasn't happened yet, right? Whereas Thunderbolt, it was like, I don't need more. It's actually like fully complete. A lot of backhanded criticisms here, a lot of caveats, but yeah, I wish it wasn't a Gundam in sometimes, so I can just be like, hey, watch this, and not just caveat people like, oh, it's a 1 year war and da da da, and maybe some people have problems with that too, of how it connects into the 1 year war and stuff, and maybe it could have just been its own AU thing, maybe, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it was because of how short it was and didn't have, it's sort of like a bastard, like it's UC but it's not canon type of thing. It's sort of like it's hard to like, I guess, for that maybe compared to something like Hathaway maybe, which I think a lot more people seem to love, at least when it came out. But maybe it's recency bias or something. That was so hard. Forget it. Also, forget doing this for 5 minutes. I do think the 3 minutes is a better choice. We're going back to the decent wheel. Decent, just so it's a balance, so I don't burn through the other two twice as fast as this one. All right. Spin the wheel. Spin the wheel. Overman King Gainer. I guess it's sort of related with Gundam in terms of the Tomino connection. Start the timer. This is the show that made me a Tomino fan. It really was. I remember watching it a little bit with my roommate, where he wasn't my roommate at the time, but we did like a group watch sort of thing, and he wasn't as into it. But I remember like the first couple of episodes, it was really just like things were happening, and we're like, and like it just goes, especially the first episode. And then when it settles into like, okay, we're doing this thing, we're all moving at it. you kind of it really like pulls you along for the ride. It doesn't really hold your hand. It's fairly I, I guess maybe I'm overselling how fast it is, but yeah, it just feels like it goes. But this was the one that like it seemed like I think I watched this dubbed first. I think we were trying to watch this dubbed, and it was so surreal. Like they don't feel like they're talking like real people, and I was like, wait a minute, this is. And maybe it was at that time when I switched to the sub, and then I was like, they talk the exact same way. Wait a minute, this is just the dialogue. And then I was and it all stemmed from the dialogue. Really, a lot of it came from his incredibly wooden, stilted, on the nose dialogue. That was kind of weird and whatever. And it was reflecting on like Garzies and things like that. And so when I noticed that, I was just having a lot more fun with it. And in doing that, I was engaging more with the battles and more with the character interactions. The character, I was like, wow, these characters are freaking crazy. They're insane, really. And it was just really riveting in that way. So like Gainer, and also I just like Gainer in general. With the setting is very unique, and the gimmick of like moving the entire town, moving like as a transport, and that whole thing was really interesting. I like the episodicness of it too. It's not as like plot driven in the same way. It's like, here's the next mech, and this one's invisible, this one can stretch, this one can do all this wacky, this one like makes people hear each other's thoughts, and it just messes people up. It just has a lot of weird powers in it, and it's cool in that way. I love the designs. It's the same designer as I don't hesitate to say it's the same guy as Eureka 7. I think it's the same designer, but the Reconquista and G as well. I love the designs. I just really like how expressive and appealing they look, honestly. I just really enjoyed it. It was a really solid time, and I was just like, I think I'm a Tomino fan. And then Ideon was the one where I was just like, oh my god, because it was the same, all the same appeals pretty much, almost all the exact same appeals, but just better. Yeah, I'm happy I got to talk about that. Okay, and this wheel I have to talk about the what shows up here as positively as possible. I can't. I honestly don't know which one is more challenging.
Well,
Spin
the
the
wheel.
wheel.
In the wheel.
Oh boy. Aria? Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Well, I feel bad. No, like, okay, start the yeah. So this is referring to like the critically acclaimed Aria the animation, Aria the natural and origination and all that. I think I liked origination. What did I rate origination? Hold on. Aria. Oh. Oh, Avenir. Avenir. I rated good. Like the very last one. Maybe because it wasn't focusing on the characters. They were focusing on new characters. No, but like what I like. I can see exactly what people like the show, and I do think I just need to give it another chance. It was one of the quad. It was a black sheep of the quad that I was watching it with Remy, Akagi no An, and Mushishi, and like Mushishi and Akagi no An were just holy shit, and then Remy's a Dazaki, so like I just like that one, and so Aria, I just don't think I was in the right headspace for it, the right mood. I don't know if I'd seen a Manchu yet at that point, because I do like a Manchu a lot more than Aria. I like that, and as much as it was annoying at the time, I do like the conceit of the squash down, the standardization of of their expressions, and they all kind of have the same rigid. They have their own catchphrases and things like that. I think the music is good. I don't think I ever had a problem with the music. I loved the music, how like eclectic and peaceful it sounded. I like YKK a lot. I don't know why I didn't like Aria. I just wasn't as engaged with a lot of the plots, I don't think. But there's a lot of imagery that sticks with me for sure. Particularly the one I think it's in the Natural, where it's like a cherry blossom with like the subway car. Oh my gosh, it's just really stunning. I feel like I can talk more positively about this one. Like the characters seem really sweet. I like the conceit of the characters with like training to become these undines and things. I like the general direction of the show and the fact that it's complete pretty much. It does wrap up, and Origination has its own cathartic ending. It doesn't just like exist and whatever. Um, I think if I liked the show more, I think that Origination in particular would really land for me. But I still recall a lot of those moments and how impactful it was for them. I like a lot of the Christmas stuff. I like when it snows in that because the contrast of like the tropical sunny like Neo Venezia thing with being Christmas and this. I remember that imagery is just especially strong. I like. I can't say I like the show because in experiencing it, I didn't enjoy it. But I do think if I rewatched it, I think I would like it a lot more. Or like if I was in the right mood for it, I guess it is what it is. But yeah, I made it. Yay! That wasn't so bad. That was a nice one. I'm happy that I didn't have to complain about Arya for 3 minutes because I don't know if I'd be able to defend myself as much. So I procrastinated again when I was busy with the slam dunk. I can make excuses or whatever, but I'm not. I don't think I'm gonna have tea at a good time. But I did ask somebody, and they said they were available next month, and so I think I'll save it for that because I think it's really exciting. That particular guest is really cool, and I'm just going to record more brawls. Yeah, so this, and then I have 2 videos in the works. So I don't know. I hope I'm not like but if you guys want more, like that's fine. I'll try to accommodate. But yeah, that's why tea. I'm probably not going to have a tea this month, but definitely next month. Anyway, that was great. You guys are great. You have a great week. Like any comments or feedback would be great. Just so I know that you guys watched it. Yeah. Yo, peace.